You walk in the door after a long day, and there it is. Your favorite chews, now a chew toy masterpiece. You look over at your furry best friend, and they're giving you that look. You know, the one, the lowered head, the sad eyes, the tucked tail. It's the classic guilty look. We see it and we think, aha, he knows he did something wrong. But is that really what's going on in that adorable little head? Do dogs actually feel guilt? Let's dive in and find out. It's completely natural for us to see our dogs as furry, four-legged people. We talk to them, we share our secrets with them, and we interpret their actions through a human lens. This is called anthropomorphism, and it's a huge part of why we bond so deeply with our pets. When we see that guilty look, our brains immediately translate it into an emotion we understand: remorse. We think they are sorry for turning the living room into a winter wonderland with stuffing from the sofa cushions. But the science of dog emotions tells a slightly different and perhaps more interesting story. To understand what's happening, we need to talk about emotions. Scientists often categorize emotions into two types: primary and secondary. Primary emotions are the basic instinctual ones. Think fear, joy, anger, sadness, surprise. There's overwhelming evidence that dogs and many other animals experience these. We see their joy when we grab the leash and their fear during a thunderstorm. These emotions are hardwired and essential for survival. But then there are secondary emotions. These are much more complex and require a certain level of self-awareness. Guilt, shame, jealousy, and pride fall into this category. To feel guilty, you have to understand that you've broken a rule, know that your action was wrong, and feel bad about it. This requires a level of cognitive sophistication that, as far as we can tell, dogs might not possess. While your dog is incredibly smart, their brain is wired differently than ours. They live much more in the present moment. So, what about that guilty look? If it's not guilt, what is it? This is where the research gets really fascinating. One of the most famous studies on this was conducted by animal cognition expert Dr. Alexandra Horowitz. In her experiment, she had owners leave their dogs with a treat and tell them not to eat it. Then the owners left the room. In some cases, the researchers gave the treat to the dog anyway. In other cases, they removed the treat so the dog hadn't actually disobeyed. Here's the twist. The owners were then told, sometimes truthfully and sometimes not, whether their dog had eaten the treat. When the owners came back into the room and scolded their dogs regardless of whether the dog had actually eaten the treat or not, the dogs displayed the guilty look. The dogs who were perfectly obedient but were scolded by their misinformed owners showed the most guilt. What does this tell us? The guilty look isn't an admission of guilt. It's a reaction to us. It's a learned appeasement behavior. Over time, your dog has learned that when you come home and there's a mess on the floor, you're about to get upset. Your posture changes, your voice gets a certain tone, and you might even point at the evidence. Your dog picks up on all these cues and responds with a behavior that has historically worked to calm you down. The lowered head, the averted eyes, the tucked tails, these are all classic canine signals that mean, please don't be mad at me, I'm not a threat. It's a sign of submission and fear of your reaction, not a confession. Think about it from your dog's perspective. You leave, they get bored or anxious, and shredding a pillow feels great. Then you come home hours later. In their mind, the act of shredding the pillow is long gone. They don't connect your current anger with their past action. What they do connect is the presence of a mess on the floor with their owner's displeasure. Animal behaviorists often explain that the dog isn't thinking, I feel bad because I ripped up that cushion. They're thinking, oh no, there's cushion fluff everywhere, and my human is making that scary face again. I need to do something to make them stop. This doesn't mean your dog is immoral or unfeeling. Far from it. It just means their emotional world is different from ours. They form incredibly strong bonds, they feel deep affection, and they can certainly feel distress. Their loyalty and love are absolutely real. But projecting complex human emotions like guilt onto them might be missing the point of what they are actually trying to communicate. Understanding this is actually really important for how we train and interact with our dogs. Scolding a dog for something they did hours ago is ineffective because they can't connect the punishment to the act. It only creates fear and anxiety around you, which can lead to more behavioral problems down the line. Instead, positive reinforcement and managing their environment to prevent the bad behavior in the first place, like providing more toys or crate training, is a much more effective and kinder approach. So, to wrap it all up, while your dog is an emotionally rich and complex creature, the current scientific consensus is that they don't experience guilt in the way humans do. That guilty look is a brilliant piece of interspecies communication, testament to how well dogs have learned to read and respond to their favorite humans. It's a survival mechanism, a way of de-escalating a potentially tense situation. They are not saying, "I'm sorry I did it." They are saying, "I see you're upset and I want you to know I'm not a threat. Let's be friends again." And honestly, that's a beautiful and complex communication in its own right. It shows just how attuned they are to us and how much our relationship matters to them. So the next time you come home to a little bit of chaos, take a deep breath. Instead of seeing a guilty party, try to see a dog who is simply reacting to your emotions and trying their very best to navigate our complicated human world. Maybe give them a reassuring pat and focus on how to prevent it next time. Thanks so much for watching and pondering the inner lives of our canine companions with me. If you found this interesting, hit that like button and subscribe to Canine Secrets for more deep dives into the world of animals. What other dog behaviors do you wonder about? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.